What's going on, guys? This is Damien from The Lookout and welcome to our How to Play Broly Saga. Yeah, I think that Broly Saga is a cool name for this archetype because it's basically telling the story of the original Broly Saga, of the both original Broly movies, all two of them. So yeah, before we begin this video, huge shout out to the Coffee Club, our lovely patrons who buy us coffee and they keep this machine going. Guys, thank you so much, and if you wish to join the Coffee Club, link to the Patreon is in the description below. And as always, guys, share the video, like and subscribe and all of that. We are super close to 3,000 subs. It would be awesome if we could reach it by the end of summer. Now, roll the video! First thing, before we even start with the breakdown, a disclaimer. I have a disclaimer for you guys. I'm not very good with this archetype. I have been avoiding this video for weeks now because I'm not very good with it. I don't understand it properly. I can give you some basic lines of play, but I've never played OG Broly. Never, in any version. So I'll probably miss some things here. However, I have found some amazing videos about this archetype, amazing breakdowns and deck builds, and I am going to post them in the description below. Those are from Broken TCG, from Kaio Chris, and even Crossworlds had a very good breakdown on it. So I'm going to post them in the description below. I highly suggest that you go check them out. You can get some insight which I can't provide you with because I don't understand this archetype on that way. You know, that's basically it. Yeah, go check them out if you wish to know more about this archetype. And yeah, sub to them as well if you haven't done so yet. Now let's jump into the breakdown. As with all of our videos, let's start with the breakdown. So in this video I will give you an archetype breakdown. I'll show you lines of play and interactions. Then we'll talk strategy and deck list, and we'll just wrap it up with a summary. Let's go! Let's start with our leader. So Broly and Paragus. Green leader, 10k, Saiyan. Amazing activate main, phenomenal activate main, very solid front side. So activate main, add up to one Broly or Paragus card, both green and we cost 1, from your deck to your hand, shuffle your deck and negate the skill for this game, which means that if you really miss with your mulligan, you can fix it for free. That's phenomenal, that's so amazing. And it allows you to awaken consistently on turn 2. So yeah, this is great. The only other way to awaken is at 4 lives or less, but just ignore this. This is never gonna happen. So as far as front sides go, this one is amazing. On the awaken side, this is wow. First off, the artwork is pure fire. The artwork is, this is like collector's level. This is, you know, the collection booster, the one that just came out with BT20. That's that level of artwork. This is wow. Kudos to Bandai. You've outdone yourself this time. This is phenomenal. So turn your 1 cost 10k combo power multicolored cards into 0 cost 5k combo power cards, which is really good because you're really running a ton of them. And that was always the problem with multicolored decks. You want to run your multicolored engine, but you can't run too many multicolored cards because they're 1 cost 10ks. This fixes it. But the big thing is the permanent, which basically says that you will always kill battle cards and your attacks are always uninterruptible. As long as you keep swinging into battle cards, your opponent can't negate. Just can't. And then you also have draw 1 plus a 5k boost, which is conditional. This is okay. This gets better for reasons which don't really involve drawing, but more like setting up future lines of play. We also have a Z leader. Let's check it out. Now we have a Z leader, and oh man, check this one out. First, when you are at 3 lives or less and you have 2 field cards, 2 very specific ones, in your drop, you Z-Awaken for free. This is huge. Guys, 20k baseline Z Awaken for free is massive. Massive. This is the second best green Z leader. Just a monster. He has the same permanent on the Awaken side, which is good. You get to KO something. Not KO, your attacks are basically uncounterable. And his auto is draw 1 on attack plus get 10k power sometimes, basically when you get rid of something. So on attack, he's 30k. He's single strike, but he's 30k. And on defense, he is a free Z Awaken 20k baseline. This is just incredible. We also have a Z Extra card and we have a Z Battle card, but let's start with Z Extra. Gigantic Meteor of Destruction. Absolutely badass attack name. Absolutely badass. After you have my favorites are like Majin Buu's Human Extinction attack, and then this is another one on an equally badass level, like a Gigantic Meteor of Destruction. And when you turn it on, it has 2 modes, and both modes are very Meteor of Destruction like. Let's check them out. The card basically has 2 modes. First option is you can activate it sooner at any point, and then you get a plus 10k boost and you have your opponent discard 1 from hand. In both modes this card is removed. And the other mode is the more powerful one, the one that you can see here on the screen. If you have 4 more energy, but when you activate it, you give plus 30k to a card for the turn, plus 30 for the turn, and you have Broly which can restand, and your opponent discards 2 cards. So yeah, if you're really hard pressed, you can use the first one. If you get to 4 energy, the second one is just devastating. It's just completely devastating. The last Z card, yeah, we have finally reached the end, is the Z Battle card. This is one of the best Green Z Battle cards, maybe the best one. I think this one is the best one, at least if you ask me. Wow. Absurd. First off, extremely cheap 20k body, which can become a 25k double strike attacker. He has unique, of course, he has to have unique. Once per turn, you can kill one of your own cards to KO one of your opponent's cards, which is a very good exchange, especially for free. But what makes this one so absurd is that it's basically a 1 green, 1 Z energy, but when you play him, that's the cost that you need to pay. But when you play him, he's a 2-cost green Z Battle card, which means that Cooler Armed Forces works with him in every single deck, because this one isn't leader locked. Yeah, Cooler just got more expensive. But I love this one. I love this one. This is just wow. This is phenomenal. Now I have mentioned field cards a bit, so let's just quickly explore them. We have free field cards. Field cards are a huge thing in this archetype. So the main ones are Sealed Super Warrior, which is Broly's Ring, and then Dormant Super Warrior, which is basically Dormant Legend. Like, they have permanents to play with names if you really wish to combine them with different older decks and stuff. And then, like, you have the last one, and that one is its effect is basically last table guaranteed at events. Even at locals, it's like last table guaranteed if you go with this route. So yeah, we're playing the first 2 ones. Finally, the last thing that we will mention, oh my god, like this has taken quite a while, Boss Monster. 8 cost Broly Tenacious Onslaught. This one is wow. Really wow. This one is just stupid good. It's phenomenal. First off, EX Evolve for 1 energy. This will come into play later. But what this one does is, when you attack, here's exactly what it does. When opponent's battle card is KO'd by this card's attack, draw 1, switch into active mode, and additionally, if your opponent is 2 or more alive and 3 or more energy, deal 1 damage to them. Remember, your boss monster, your leader says that your opponent can't counter, when you swing at battle cards. This is basically an uninterruptible way to deal 1 damage to your opponent. And because it says 2 or more, it's basically an uninterruptible way to drop your opponent to 1 life. If you apply enough pressure, you can just flat out drop them to 1 life. Uninterruptible. Crazy good. Okay, it is time that we jump into the deck list. Here's what I came up with. This one is super archetype based. I didn't play with any of the older stuff. I just went to explore the archetype a little bit. Yeah, like I told you in the disclaimer, I'm not the best one when it comes to this Broly, but this is what we will be working with. Think of it more as a blueprint, as a starting point. A link to the deck list, like always, is in the description below, and yeah, let's jump into the mulligan. Regarding our mulligan, we have only 2 must-have slots, and then the third one is flexible. This is basically because the deck is extremely consistent. Everything cheats in something else, everything tutors for something else, so we don't really need a hard mulligan, but we can go with 2 cards. First is Broly Paragus. You really want this one, and the second one is the boss monster, because to my knowledge there is no way to really tutor for this one. Like, I think that is the only card in the deck that you can't really tutor for, so it's better to just hard mulligan for it and have it in your hand for when you need it. And then the third is like flexible slot. Just depends on the matchup and how confident do you feel going into the matchup. Now let's go over your first 3 turns. Broly looks very cool to play and has a ton of deck building customization options. Ton of them. Because almost all of these cards work with older archetypes. Older Broly archetypes have cards which work with this one, so it's super customizable. What we have done is we have made a deck which is as close to the BT22 archetype as possible to show you some basics. Think of it more as a blueprint. We will show you the first 3 turns of the game. We are assuming that you went first and that you have kept the mulligan that we have shown you. And that's it basically. Alright, the Super Saiyan Devil has returned. Let's see what he can do. Turn 1, getting our field card out. Your turn 1 is basically always the same, so here is an example. You start, charge 1, pay 1, you play Broly Paragus, his auto triggers, you search the deck, and you play your field card. So you search the deck for Broly's Ring, aka Sealed Super Warrior, you play it, and then you shuffle your deck and pass the turn. You can also go different route with 1 drop Broly if you don't get this one, because then you can play your other Paragus for free with its activate main. But let's say that you have kept the mulligan, so this is your turn 1. Very important thing, don't charge the 1 drop into your Z energy. Charge from hand. You must have this one survive by your turn 2, so don't combo with it. Just leave it alone. Turn 2, Broly Awakens. Okay, now things are getting slightly more complicated, but let's break it down. Start, charge 1. Then activate main of your 1 drop to search the deck for a 6 cost Broly. So you find your 6 cost, you add him to your hand, and then you shuffle your deck. After which you have to use the activate main of your field card, target your 1 drop and negate its skills. Now that its skills are negated, you can awaken. This is the only way for you to awaken before going down to 4 lives. This is the only way to get a skill-less Broly in this deck. You have to use your field's activate main, target a 1 drop, that's a Broly, which is this one, negate its skills, and then you awaken and draw 2 cards. Now you swing with your leader, you draw 1 and you KO your field card. The moment that you decide to KO it, it auto triggers. You pay 1, you send it to the drop, you check your hand to play a 6 cost Broly, multicolored. That's the one that you got with your activate main of your 1 drop. So you play it, you swing 30k critical into your opponent basically. there is a chance that you will swing into a battle card first, but it's not always gonna happen because you can't attack battle cards in active mode consistently with this card, so you will more likely just be able to swing 30 crit once. And then you can just pay 1 and 1 Z energy to play your Z extra card and have it on the field just in case, and then you pass the turn. Turn 3, Broly plays with his food for a bit. Before we start turn 3, I need to show you what is probably gonna happen between turns 2 and 3 is your opponent is going to KO your 6 cost, and that will bring the Dormant Super Warrior into play. That's what's gonna happen very likely, so keep that in mind. We are proceeding forward with this in mind. We start, charge 1, pay 1, play the 1 drop, it auto triggers, it finds you the first field card, you play it. Because you can have only one field card, you send your Dormant Super Warrior to the drop, it auto triggers, he plays you the 4 cost gives a leader plus 5k, then you use the activate main of your 1 drop to get your 6 drop back into your hand. What you absolutely don't need to do is the first part, activate main and blank a 1 drop. This is just force of habit. Anyway, attack with your leader, KO the field and draw 1. You pay 1, you have the 6 drop in hand because you got it through the activate main of your 1 drop, you play it, his auto triggers against critical, and now you get to KO a Paragus, you KO your 1 drop, and it's time to attack. Now you can attack battle cards in active mode. So you attack a battle card, you KO it, and now you restand. Now you swing again, this time at your opponent with the 6 drop, attack resolves, you attack with the 4 drop, attack resolves, and what now? You have only 1 energy left. And now I'm going to show you a max value meme turn 4. This is super meme, don't do this, but it is like max value on turn 4. And to do this, you need this free cost Broly that isn't in the deck build because it's just pure meme, and the following 3 cards in hand. Extra breakdown for turn 4, max value semi-meme play. Here is what happens between turns 3 and 4. 6 cost dies, then you play Dormant Super Warrior and you also get to Z Awaken. Let's assume that you go to Z Awaken. If you didn't get to Z Awaken, doesn't matter, doesn't change the play. Okay, let's start the meme. Charge 1. Activate main of the free cost Broly. Free cost Broly says, if your opponent has 3 or more energy, you can send 1 Dormant Legend from your battle area into your drop to play him for free. You get your Dormant Legend to the drop, and now you play the Broly and you play the 4 cost. Okay, your leader gets plus 5k. Pay 1. This is the first energy. Pay 1 to play the boss monster. Your opponent discards 1, then you attack a battle card and you deal 1 damage. Now, because you have a Broly in play, you get to use your Paragus' activate main to play him. His auto triggers, he finds you the Broly's ring and plays it. Now, activate main from the Broly's ring. You don't need to negate skills or anything, just to switch it to rest mode. Attack with your leader. Your leaders, the field cost, the field cards auto triggers. You pay 1, you send it to the drop. Okay, now you get to play the 6 cost. Keep in mind, so far we have paid 2 energy, we still have 2 opened. He gains critical, attacks, no counters. Our 6 cost Broly restands. He's 30k crit. Attacks opponent for 30 crit. Attack resolves. Then, pay 1 energy and 1 Z energy. Send the 6 cost Broly to the drop to bring out Dormant Legend, basically. And now you play the Z Broly. You use his activate main to remove Dormant Legend, Dormant Super Warrior, from the game to send it to the drop. Basically, it's auto triggers and he plays you your second 4 drop. Now, with your final energy, pay 1 to play another 8 drop because his EX Evolve isn't once per turn. Opponent discards 1, you attack a battle card. No counters, activate battle from your Z extra card. You deal 1 damage, and he gains plus 30k for the turn, and your opponent discards 2, you also draw 1 from your auto. You restand. He is now 65k double strike. You attack resolves, then you attack with your Z battle card, and I guess you win. You also attack with the last 8 drop because you didn't swing again once it restood, so that's another 35k double striker. And yeah, I guess you win. These are the results of the meme turn. Congrats, you did horrible things to our opponent. You've discarded 4 cards, you've cleared their board, you have attacked 8 times in total, multiple double strikes. 5 of those attacks were double strikes. 5 times for double strike. Yeah, you've dealt 2 uninterruptible damage and you drew 3 cards in total. Remember, this isn't the optimal play, this is just jank meme turn 4. But yeah, there you go, this is what you can do with Broly. Before we end the video, let's jump into the summary. The Broly Saga archetype is really cool. It works well on its own, but it works much better when you combine it with older cards. There's a ton of support here for older Broly decks. The ability to have uninterruptible attacks is stupid good, especially when you can deal uninterruptible damage. Don't play the Bio Broly cards. They're not good, they're trash. Don't play them, it's a trap, listen to me. And one big thing is that this deck is extremely weak if your opponent just kinda doesn't kill your 6 drops. Then your deck really slows down. So the way to beat this deck is just don't kill it 6 drop, and then he'll have to struggle. He'll have to commit his leader swings and other sources to get rid of the 6 drop to bring in Dormant Legend. I wouldn't recommend this to completely new players, simply due to how much it depends on older cards. If you're a fan of OG Broly decks, this one is amazing. This archetype is basically a buff to all OG Broly decks, but I wouldn't recommend it to anyone just coming into the game, because it really depends on older cards. That's it for the video. Let me know in the comments below, are you hyped for Broly? Will you be playing this archetype? Will you be playing cards from this archetype in a different Broly archetype? Let me know in the comments. I read all of your comments and try to respond to everything. I love our little community. And guys, while you're here, click the share button, click the like and subscribe buttons, help us grow, help us reach 3k subs by the end of summer. We're super close. Help us reach 3k subs and then we will have an awesome giveaway. This has been Damien from The Lookout, and I'll see all of you in the next video.